Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SportsGamer, and welcome back to our coverage of the ECL postseason, the Elite Division postseason, of course. My name is Doogie, joined for the 5th day in a row by Mr. Sin for the win. It's been a marathon week, Sin, but we have made it. 3 of our quarterfinals have been decided, and we have one more left to settle to lock in the Final Four.
Yeah, and you know, it's going to be hard to live up to the hype of yesterday, but these two teams are definitely going to give it their all here, tied at 1 game apiece. And they got a lot to settle still on the ice here.
With that, let's take a look at the bracket to show you how we got to this point. Again, our number 1 seed and 2-time defending champions in Tunnel Vision eliminated the Blackjacks in 6 games. Yesterday on this very broadcast, Strikers eliminated Unwanted in 6 games. A depressing finish for Unwanted that can only rival the depression that my fellow New England Patriot fans are feeling this early afternoon. And then, of course, H-Reds eliminating Radical in 5 games. And it sets the stage for this, the battle of 3 versus 6. And obviously, in terms of Strikers being on the brackets, and we haven't moved them over on that right-hand side yet because the seeding is totally up in the air right now in regards to who is going to play who because of this matchup.
Yeah, if Jyväskylä win, they will be taking on Strikers and it'll be Tunnel Vision versus H-Reds. But if Vesa Pompa pull up the upset, it's going to be a completely different look. They'll be taking on Tunnel Vision, whereas Strikers will take on H-Reds.
A matchup we've seen in the playoffs quite a few times. I wouldn't be against another showdown between those two storied clubs. But with that, it is Jyväskylä and Vesa Pompa in the spotlight. Let's get a look at the numbers through the first 2 games of this series as Sin. Low scoring, a lot of just kind of jockeying for position. The only analogy that comes to mind right now, it's like 2 Rams going head to head and neither's willing to budge or give an inch. And as a result, it's a 1-1 split.
Yeah, that's how it's been. It's been incredibly defensive based, and both of these two teams really want to, assert their play style onto the other one, and it's just not been there yet. These defenses, these goaltenders are not really budging. You see the special teams, no one scored on the power play, and so we're still kind of waiting for one of these two teams to really show, that they're going to break out of, the kind of deadlock that we found ourselves in.
Well, with that, let's take a look at the lineups for these 2 clubs. As again, we finish up this series here on this broadcast. We kick it off with Game 3, and we'll stick with it until its conclusion, even if, of course, it goes to 7. For Vesa Pompa, Antonio Mannin, Ekin, and Zovi the front 3, with Poppin and Sebi Larson on defense. Kosti between the pipes. On the other side, Tunkelia, Jamal the Man, and their captain, Indy, for Jyväskylä, Landstrom and Karkas on defense, and Kazu in goal. And let's take a look at that first matchup here. Ekin and Jamal the Man, the center comparison that we have here. It was a very strong start to this series for Jamal.
Yes, he's been really good for this Jyväskylä team. I mean, 3 goals in those 2 games played, 4 points total, and dominating the face-off circle thus far. Ekin has to step his game up in the dot. Of course, he ended the regular season with a positive face-off percentage, 52.9, and Jamal had 52.5. But in this individual head-to-head, it has really been Jamal taking it to Ekin so far. So, not only is Ekin going to have to step up, produce some more offense, but in the dot especially, he's got to find a way to slow down Jamal, or else Jyväskylä has a chance to dominate the possession game.
And that's been so important so far, of course, between these two teams. Those extra opportunities and general opportunities have been few and far between. You want to get as many as you can. Face offs, great way to do that. Of course, let's take a look at the four men on the wing in this matchup here, as for Vesa, Pompa, Antonio Mannon, and Zovi scoring off against JYP Jyväskylä's Tunkelia and Indy. And Sin, for the offensive capabilities of these players, to see the point totals so low, or in Indy's case, to see him without a point in the series so far, is pretty surprising.
It absolutely is, and particularly when it comes to the side of Vesapampa, Zove, Antonio, have 3 goals between them. They're the only goal scorers on this roster here. It's a kind of the same story on the other side. There's only 2 goal scorers. It's been hard to come by the offense, as we can see here. But if Jyväskylä want to advance, they're gonna need Indy to start getting going. For Vesapampa, it's really both these teams kind of a similar story. Everyone needs to kind of step it up a bit more, but there's certain individuals who you expect to be getting a little bit more of that production who simply haven't yet.
Let's take a look now at the defensive comparison in this matchup. Again, for Vesapampa, Poppin and Sebi Larson. On the other side, Landstrom and Karkas and Sin. I mean, again, obviously, we expected it in terms of the lower point totals on this side of things. Some physicality between the four. It's just kind of a matter of who's going to make those mistakes. And I think, unfortunately, through those first 2 games, you had to identify Karkas as someone who was having some trouble at the blue line. They're going to target him today. I'm sure he's prepared for it, but he needs to have a big game as well.
He absolutely does. I mean, he hit the nail on the head right there. That's what good teams do. They look for any sort of potential weaknesses, and with Karkas doing what he did at times on the blue line there, costing it with his team with some of those turnovers there. If you're Vesapampa, you've got to be licking your chops and saying, okay, we need to target him, pressure him at every point of the ice if he has the puck, especially. So look for Zove and Antonio in particular, all the forward group, to really try to pressure him when he has that puck at the point. But it's just so even, as we see with all the point totals. It's just very, very low so far. We're still kind of waiting for one of these teams to gain some sort of an advantage.
And of course, our final head-to-head, the battle of the netminders in this particular matchup. Kosti and Kazu, both on point through the first 2 games of this series. Kazu especially said it was the type of performance through those first 2 games that a lot of people thought he could have in terms of living up to the hype and his potential. He's going to need to have another strong performance here, while the 5 in front of him have struggled to get that consistent offense, though, and that's a lot of extra pressure beyond just being in a playoff series to begin with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those numbers are really, really good. Of course, he registered that shutout in Jyväskylä's win here. So again, yeah, he's gonna have to keep up his good pace of play, but it's up to the 5 guys in front of him also to give him a lot more goal support here. Now's the time for Jyväskylä to prove that they belong there in that top 3 in the league. And right now, you're taking on that 6 seed here, and we're still kind of waiting to see that team who secured that number 3 seed.
So, with that, again, we are just a few moments away from the continuation of this series. But before we get to that, a quick look at the action from the first 2 games. And I mean, Sin, we talked about it, some goals being hard to come by and it being few and far between. But both teams showed, the offensive capabilities that they have throughout those 2 games.
Yeah, they showed the offensive capabilities, but also they had shown, at times an unwillingness to sort of budge from what they wanted their play style to be. And oftentimes we talk about it and we see it in the playoffs. You have to take what your opponent is giving you. And if, they're not giving you a lot of the easier stuff or the cross ice passes, you look right there where Jamal found success. He just kind of stopped up and ripped that puck on. And, nice set play off of the draw right here. But we need to see a lot more of that from both of these teams. But Vesapampa in particular, they've only scored 3 goals through those first 2 games. And look at right there, simple hockey, a rebound play. And I don't think we saw nearly enough of that from either of these 2 teams, just keeping things simple. If you're looking at how a lot of these goals are scored, it's them taking what's available or them just keeping it simple. Here's another one, it's a shot that goes to Jamal. He kicks it over to Tonkeli. It looks pretty, but it comes from something very simple. And that's just kind of putting that puck towards the goal.
Some respect to strikers and unwanted, of course, there from what was an incredible series. And then, like you mentioned, these two clubs, in the aftermath of that, you still have the situation here where these teams, it's all about the win at the end of the day. From our perspective, hey, we'd love to see an unwanted strikers series every single time out. I mean, that was an incredible series that again capped off yesterday. But for now, it is all about the win, especially here in game 3, a chance to get your team the advantage as you get a look there in the lobby. Playmaker in the center position for Jamal the man. Aside from that, all PMDs from JYP. But of course, there is the one lone sniper on the other side for Vesa Pompa. So we'll see what Antonio Mannin is able to do. A reminder for those of our Finnish audience here, if you are somewhat new or want to get involved in the kind of e-hockey scene, we have the tournament for you. SportsGamer.gg/Lionot has all the information that you need for a brand new tournament with our e-hockey open. So make sure to get involved. Again, for the Finns only. But hey, don't worry. For the Swedes, we got stuff coming up. For everybody else, we got stuff coming up because there's always something going on here at SportsGamer. It's a busy, busy time, especially here in the playoff season. And our final quarterfinal matchup to cap off has continued. It is game number 3 between Vesa Pompa and JYP Jyväskylä. Antonio Mannin, a lot of space early on. Did a good job of getting a shot off there, too. JYP looking for a quick response of their own here. There's nowhere to go. Antonio Mannin not able to fit that pass through, and it leads to an offside. But then it was a good early chance for Antonio down the other way to at least get that shot off.
I do like that. Yeah, a lot of speed right there, and he didn't try anything too fancy. Took what looked like a low far side shot right there, and Ekin was crashing. Then Jamal was the one to pick it up, but I love that decision making from Vesa Pompa, trying to get off to an early start.
Battle on in the corner. Get back in control. Indy has it poked away. Carcass is there to help out. Tried to feed the middle. Ekin able to pick it off. Slow and steady here for Vesa Pompa. Indy. Aggressive on that forecheck. Tried to win it back. First 5 minutes. Now the team able to establish much ozone control time. Yep, trying to change that here on this possession. Landstrom bumped off the puck, still fighting for it. Zovi able to carry it out and into the attacking zone, fed it into the middle. Trying to chase that one down himself.
Yeah, actually, I can't tell if that was a pass or he kind of pushed a deke a little bit too far into the middle. Nonetheless, does count as a turnover here, and kind of a neutral zone deadlock is ensuing.
Down the back of the net. Antonio, the drive again. Opportunities for him. Short side shot from Zovi. Forces a save out of Kazu.
And this is good mentality here from Vesa Pompa, trying to test Kazu at every single angle, and every one of those shots, too, is going to do a little bit of work on that pressure meter as well, as you can see that beginning to fill up.
Yep, able to clear the zone. Here it is, Tonkeli carrying in. Can't get that shot off. Antonio now head of steam down the other way for Vesa Pompa. Shot on. Big rebound. Still fighting for it. Jamal finally able to settle it. Indeed, very promising start for Vesa Pompa in terms of their willingness to throw shots on.
Yeah, it was, and that was Ekin sitting on that back door. It's good position from Carcass, though.
Ace for Mindy. Just lost it as he approached the goal. 8.5 to go in the first period. Series scoreline 1-1, as you can see in the top right-hand side of your screen. Here is Landstrom. Able to hold on to it. Jamal now down low. Gets bumped quite a few times and apparently tripped as well. Going to be a JYP Jyväskylä power play.
Yeah, I didn't actually see the poke right there. I thought it was going to be perhaps an RNG penalty simply from how many times he was bumped right there, but Poppin does indeed get the stick in the feet right there, and we're going to get to see that man advantage go to work for Jyväskylä. This is a good chance for them to get an advantage.
Off face off. Good hold by Kerkus there. Jamal down low for Indy. Nearly found Tunkeli. I thought he was going to go for the wraparound. Yep, able to reestablish the zone here. Worked back to the point. Kelia not able to get that shot off. Gets it back, though. Does get that shot off. Osti makes the save.
Yeah, kind of a bit of havoc right there, but good job by Jyväskylä to just kind of stick with that loose puck and win it back, and able to get a shot on that. Kosti had a little bit of trouble with, and now you see almost full pressure of Jamal. He does win the faceoff. They have it.
Low shot into traffic. Ekin able to clear. They had it, but not for long. 25 seconds left on the power play. As Zovi does a great job of covering and clearing, and that'll pretty much do it for the power play. Not too much going on for the majority of it. Lundstrom tried to go across. Jamal picked off the pass. That was most certainly intended for Indy.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting to either. Didn't even get a shot away.
Kelia the force across. Poppin was there to take it away. Great move by Antonio Mann into space. Low shot. It went off of Ekin's stick. Gave Kazu some trouble, but again, he's able to keep it out. All that work for Jyväskylä to get a dangerous opportunity. And all it takes is one low shot on his own entry for Vesa Pompa. Caused some trouble as a kick save there by Kosti. Pompa taking their time here. Needed to take a little bit more. It's offside.
Yeah, I like the point you made about how easy sometimes it is to get some of those in-tight chances, and we're seeing that mentality coming out from Vesa Pompa. And, you know, Jyväskylä, some of the plays they're going for, you know, they're good, obviously, in theory, but, you know, Vesa Pompa's done such a good job throughout the course of this series so far to cut those off and get intercepts.
Kelly, good patience in the corner. Final moments of the period. Lundstrom forces in front. Looked like he had a good shooting lane. Indy went in, but time had expired. That'll do it for the first period. Kazu had to make quite a few saves in that period as Vesa Pompa showed off a shoot-first mentality and nearly found the back of the net.
Yeah, and I think I would love to see them continue that throughout the rest of the game. They did not capitalize, but there were several close calls, and as we know, kind of a game of inches, or I guess we could say centimeters in this case, but, you know, it was, I think if they stick to kind of that game plan here, they have a chance. Obviously, they didn't get the same amount of time on attack, but, you know, that power play did amount to quite a bit for Jyväskylä, but the fact of the matter is that they, you know, outshot them with about 1/3 of the time on attack. And that, I think, has to be the mentality here, is to, you know, take shots. Both of these two teams, if Jyväskylä took a few more shots with some of that zone time, I feel like not only could they got maybe another iteration of full pressure, but a few more chances. There were several opportunities that we saw that they had a chance to shoot and they tried to pass instead. And almost every single time it just was intercepted and nothing came of it.
Second period underway. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. Game 3 continues on. Neither team able to find the breakthrough in the first, but here comes Ekin for Vesa Pompa. Good recovery. Marcus was able to take that one away. Pompa had a few moments. Looking dangerous. Tremendous outlet pass to Jamal. Cuts back. Forces it low. Sebi Larsson's right there. And that is a prime example of not adapting to what's there. You threw the pass that you wanted, not the pass that was open.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at the puck, I'm sure Lundstrom's kind of wondering why that puck didn't come to him, because he was wide open.
Jamal down low. Still fighting for it. Finds Indy. Still in a scramble. It's Jamal. Found Indy. Great glove save by Kosti. Best chance of the game so far for Jyväskylä.
And Kosti was there to meet the challenge. Excellent positioning there, able to get the glove on it, but No, that was a nice look from Jyväskylä there, kind of working the perimeter, working it down low, and then being able to find the pass towards the middle there. And that's obviously what they like to go for, but you got to open it up first.
Off and down low, battling with Indy. Jamal able to recover this loose puck, still fighting for it, and again turns it over on a low pass. We're approaching full pressure there as well. Ekin holds it a bit too long, but still keeps it alive. Sends it around wide of the net. They can't hold it in. Stick work there. Break it up by Antonio Mannin, and we'll have the face-off.
Yeah, and that's just kind of been the theme of this whole series so far. It's a battleground in the neutral zone. It's been a bouncing puck so much of the time with these teams trying to break it out of their zone and then break it into the opposition's.
Antonio again couldn't get the shot off this time, though. Try to get it going down the other way. Good pickup there for Tunkelia in the corner. Now around the back of the net. Tried to drive the short side. Ekin was there on the poke. Turnover, and Jamal had a great chance. Yep, finding success, generating opportunities on the forecheck. Indy couldn't get that shot off in time. Sebi Larson will settle it down for Vesa Pompa. We're already halfway through this game. Still without the goal, though. Sebi Larson, and, well, Sin, we've seen it a few times this week after some time away, but a nice broken pane of glass will stop play as...
how'd that one break?
With his chin, maybe? Who's to say? It does lead to an ozone face-off, though, for Vesa Pompa, funny enough, so I'm sure Sebi Larson will take the trade-off. Although it's going to be Yip that get the better of it. They have numbers. Jamal lost it momentarily. Antonio now taking it away for Vesa Pompa. Antonio Mannin looking, poked away. You're back out to the neutral zone. Sebi Larson. Force to Antonio, doesn't get them over the line. Lundstrom played it back. A recovery. Still fighting for it. Zovi down low. Having the chance a moment ago. Antonio Mannin over to Ekin. Sebi Larson tried to throw it on. Two people there. Zovi has it across and they score. Some broken plays, but a breakthrough for Vesa Pompa as Ekin strikes with just about 5 minutes left here in the second.
Vesa Pompa's kind of been forechecking a bit heavier than they did in the first two games all throughout this one, and finally it gets them something. That's a great job by Ekin. He's the one who pokes that puck loose that goes to Zovi. Zovi goes wide, and Ekin's able to sneak into the back door with space, and Vesa Pompa capitalized 1-0.
Big goal there for Ekin. Had 19 in the regular season. Gets his first of this series. Mentioned he was needing a better performance here. He does get the goal as Yip go offside.
And this is where it gets a little bit dangerous for Jyväskylä here is, obviously playing into a lead, and Vesa Pompa has been really solid defensively. They're willing to give, the outside to Jyväskylä, and then the second they try to get to the middle, they're able to take that away.
Lundstrom turns it over. Ekin the shot. Good block, though, by Jamal. Well, has it again. It goes all the way back to the point. Low shot. Rebound. Tunkelia had another swipe at it. Osti with some big saves. Yip try to keep it in. They have full pressure. Indy battles for it. Forces across. And an errant pass. Final minute of play. Yip will lose that full pressure just seconds after establishing it. Not the first time this period, as they mistime this dump and chase, and it's offside.
Yeah, it's just such an unfortunate break right there. They get full pressure. They have a bit more of an opportunity to wait and bide their time and set something up, but see them kind of go back to the well right there, have someone cutting across the middle with speed. They try to hit the pass, and it just goes right through, and the secondary pass clears the zone for them as they are, I feel like, just pressing a little bit and rushing things right now. And I don't think they realize they have a little bit more time than they think if they can work that puck up higher in the zone as well. Because down low, Vesa Pompa has been doing a great job covering it.
One more chance, but it's taken away, and that will do it. 1-0 lead for Vesa Pompa through 40 minutes as Ekin was able to find the back of the net.
And other than that, I mean, I've liked the game of Vesa Pompa a bit more than Jyväskylä, even though they're not getting the time and attack, and they're even at this point getting outshot as Jyväskylä was a bit more willing to throw the puck on net. It's really, for me, it's just the forecheck coming out from Vesa Pompa is creating some havoc. It led to the goal. They're willing to kind of shoot the puck on net when they get an opportunity. Not as many in that period, but a few of them were blocked by Jyväskylä, who seemingly are trying to adjust to some of those more perimeter shots here. And obviously, the most important thing is Vesa Pompa has the big number on the top of the scoreboard. That one goal right now, which is the difference. It's a slim margin, and obviously can easily go away here, but like to see them continue to play that way, not just go into a defensive shell, still stay aggressive with that forecheck and try to force more turnovers out of Jyväskylä.
Here we go. We continue on. Tunkelia, an opportunity, force across. The upteenth time of the game has not worked. Base for India cross. Tunkelia, defense read it well again. Antonio over to Ekin, low shot, paddled away to get possession back. Zovi. Spin didn't work out too well. Ekin, though, has it. Now Antonio man it again. Forced to the point, was turned over. Centered across, and again, Zovi able to take it away. Antonio able to get past Jamal. Across, good save there on the chance by Zovi. Antonio to Zovi, huge save again by Kazu. Holding his team in it as Vesa Pompa continued to get the more high-quality chances. Zovi tried that short side tuck. Ekin to Antonio. Loves a good wraparound. Nearly found the force there. Not quite. They do have it back. That one off the side of the cage by Ekin. Antonio, he scores! The back skate from behind the goal. Tremendous pressure from Vesa Pompa. And they have a 2-0 lead.
The forecheck, if anything, they cranked up the pressure after the break. That's exactly what they needed to do here. It gave them their initial goal, and because they were aggressive on the forecheck, continuing to force turnovers, win those puck battles, they get the second one of the game off great work down low by Ekin and Antonio. Antonio gets it, peels out on the back skate, and shoots it, I think, pretty low, but nonetheless, it finds its way into the back of the net, and Vesa Pompa double up their lead.
Down low, they might not be done. Antonio tried it again. And drew a call as well this time as Jamal the man heads to the box.
I mean, why not go for it again? If you're feeling it, as Antonio clearly is, try it again. And nearly got a nice shot off, and he indeed was the one who tripped, so theoretically probably could have got a shot off if he wasn't tripped. And now Vesa Pompa, the man advantage, a real chance to put this game away.
Zovi in control, Vesa Pompa. Trying to hold it in. They do. It'll be Zovi again, back in the corner. Now rotates up top. Hopping back to the forehand. Looking, goes to Sebi Larson. Sebi Larson for Zovi. Didn't get the pickup he would have wanted. They keep the puck alive. Full pressure. Ekin in front, denied. Up and looking, found Antonio. Another save by Kazu. Puck is held in. Sebi Larson across off the blocker. May have gone a bit high. A pinball to keep the opportunity alive. We are back to 5-on-5. Antonio goes all the way to Sebi Larson. Pop and shot, they score! Ekin on the deflection. Vesa Pompa running away with game 3, and deservedly so. What a performance.
They are doing great mixing up the offense. A point shot. It's been a rarity in this series to see a point shot, but right there we see it come and a goal because of it. And again, off of the back of aggressive forechecking from Vesa Pompa. Yeah, maybe, a little bit of help with that crazy bounce to be able to keep things alive, but that still comes from the pressure that they've mounted on the forecheck in particular. That play still shocked me, just the way it bounced around and stayed in the zone somehow. Actually, I think I smacked my desk trying to clutch my face.
As 2 goals for Ekin now in this game. We said he needed a big performance. He and the Vesa Pompa squad have had it. Oh, and a rough break for Zovi there. Deserved a chance on that breakaway as that one. Dangerous look. Indy wanted the wraparound, couldn't get it. JYP have had some chances. That was a very fortunate bit of incidental contact. And JYP have had some chances, but far too often they are defaulting to the force across. Indy again. Point blank. Here's Jamal, the shot. Glove save by Kosti. And it stays a 3-0 lead.
So JYP clearly into the desperation mode now, and look at the amount of success that they're finding keeping pucks in, getting shots on, getting scoring chances. I think they got to adapt a little bit of this mentality into the rest of their game.
Sebby Larson, the force out. Zovi for Antonio Manin. Full pressure finally away, and a glove save by Kazu. They'll play it out with 3.5 to go. Arcus stepping up. Not able to hold on to it. Numbers popping, unable to hold on. Lundstrom back to Indy. Hounded by the defense. Jamal Tunkelia now. And another save by Kosti.
He's been doing a good job here. Is just staying square to the shooter here. And it's been a bit tougher, but it's good to know he can trust his defense a lot with some of these cross-ice passes, which were happening throughout the rest of the game. And we're just completely being snuffed out by Vesa Pompa.
Tunkelia, blocker save. Jamal, to the point. Carcass kicked out. Kosti another save. Ekin sends it. Sebby Larson and Zovi able to get it out. Sebby Larson couldn't get the centering feed over to Antonio. Still has it now. With the board play in the O-zone, lost it anyway. Jamal nearly picked the corner. And that's one, if you're JYP Jyväskylä, that you can say, all right, EA, that should have been a goal. Kosti got caught. The rare instance of a goalie being in a bad position and still making a glove save, compared to what I see people say how often it happens. We've seen people pick corners, but that's a frustrating one if you're JYP.
Yeah, definitely.
7 seconds left in this game. Tunkelia tried to sweep it home. Despite that last chance not going, it is going to be Vesa Pompa with a well-earned, well-deserved victory here in Game 3. As JYP look for one more opportunity here. They will not get it. A victory for Vesa Pompa in Game 3 as they take a 2-1 series lead.
And a big shutout for Kosti as well. Definitely earned that one, especially in that third period when Jyväskylä started to pour a heck of a lot more shots on and get more aggressive with the forecheck and start getting a lot more offense. But he stayed tall. Both these goalies were pretty solid. Kazu had to be sharp in that first period, but the immense pressure, forechecking pressure from Vesa Pompa just broke down the defense of Jyväskylä and the chances that they were getting off of that aggression. So hard for any goaltender to stop. And for Kazu, he just couldn't keep the puck out, but, can't put this loss on him. It's like, oh, your goaltender allowed 3. Well, your team didn't score at 1 goal. I mean, Kosti, did play great, but it was a combined team effort, and maybe in the first 2 periods, especially an unwillingness for Jyväskylä to break away from what they wanted to do. And that ended up costing them in the end. I think they got to take a look at that third period and where they found some of the success. And as I said, implement more of that into their play style.
See, by the end of it, JYP actually with more shots than Vesa Pompa. Quite a few of them, it felt like, coming towards the end of that game. And like you mentioned, once they were in kind of desperation mode and knowing that they needed a quick goal, as you get a look here at the first one for Ekin, it was off of a turnover in the Jyväskylä zone. And then this one here from Antonio Mann in the back skate from behind his own goal, or from behind the attacking goal, I should say.
Yeah, that was just dirty. I mean, again, it was a 2-on-1, and the down low fighting for that puck right there, and Antonio's the one who comes up with it and then just does that nice little play. And I love this here, just quick little reversal between the defenders. They get that shot through. It wasn't the cleanest of lanes, but it found its way through and deflected in by Ekin. And you know, Jyväskylä, they couldn't find enough offense throughout the first two periods. They stuck with the game plan, and in that one, Vesa Pompa had made adjustments from those first two games, and that's why they came out on top.
Well, with that, that is just our first game of this broadcast. We have at least two more. We'll see. It's up to Jyväskylä now to kind of battle back into this series, and we'll see if they can do so in just a few moments. Game 4 coming up, so stick with us.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back and getting ready for game 4 now in this series. Again, our final quarterfinal matchup here in the Elite Division postseason. We will know our 4 semifinalists by the end of this broadcast. And Sin Vesa Pompa, they are one step closer now after a pretty convincing victory in game number 3. You know, Jyväskylä, they had some moments of kind of positive play in the attacking zone, but still far too often they fell back to forcing the puck. And look, it can work. And when it does, it looks good. But when it doesn't, it looks really, really rough. And that's how their offense looked for a good amounts of that last game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of the brutal truth of it right there. It wasn't really till the third period they started to get the majority of their scoring chances, and that's when they were in desperation mode. And they had to get aggressive. They had to forecheck. They had to just rip shots on and just take any shooting lane that was available. And surprise, surprise, those were the chances that gave Custody the most trouble there. So I think they really need to just remember where they found that success. And yeah, they didn't get a goal. They had a couple close calls, but if they can keep going with that, I think if they implement that into a full game plan, they'll have a lot better of a chance.
I think we had one player type change there as well. If I'm not mistaken, Tunkelia now rocking a sniper. I don't believe he was doing so in game 3. You see here, though, of course, the PlayStation Showdown, the finals coming up very, very soon. Our 1v1 final, Eki taking on Nikki Dangles in a best of 3, and our 4v4 final, Goons and the JYP All-Stars. That is this upcoming Saturday. Not going to want to miss that, as a special guest commentator for that one as well, beyond our lovely producer. But it is the return of one T-Panda to the SportsGamer scene. Of course, he was with us this past February as our host, of course, at the first ever World Finals. So it'll be good to see him back here as game 4 is underway. Dangerous moment there for Launchum with that pass in front. And JYP need a very strong start to this one. After losing the third game of this series, Jamal, kind of a double clutch, couldn't get the shot off too quickly. I was talking about how important the first goal is, especially after a 3-0 loss. And I mean, we didn't put too much respect on his name for it, but the shutout for Costi in the playoffs as well. Kind of lost in the shuffle. In terms of the conversation, these two teams got the action going much, much sooner. Heading into this game, Costi made another big save there as Vesa Pompa won't kill off the full pressure with that. Gonna have to work to battle back. Oh, what a play there by Sovi, the self-sauce. Off the boards, full pressure now alleviated. Again, we've talked about the likes of Zovi, Ekin being very accomplished 1v1 players as well, and you do see aspects of that play shine through. It might be a little bit less common in the sixes scene. Ekin threatening there as well off the spin. It's played out by Kazu, who... And we talked about his team kind of struggling for offense at times. No better example than game number 3, where he made some big saves and simply wasn't rewarded for it.
Yeah, but I'm liking this a lot more by Jyväskylä. A lot of pressure.
And he had a chance to shoot there. Again, went for the pass across. Jamal able to win it back. It over for Tunkelia, back to Jamal the man. Has space at the point, utilizes it. Launchstrom to Indy, couldn't get the shot off. Antonio at least able to get it out of the zone. Carries it back in, though, into open space.
Yeah, and bodies are flying all over the place. The physical play from both of these two teams ramping up.
Antonio Mannin throws one on towards goal. Time it ends up trickling back towards the point. Vesa Pompa will have to reset.
Yeah, and that was a shot that he took, but almost ended up being more of a pass, and Ekin almost capitalized.
Antonio has it poked away. Good defense there by Carcass. 5 minutes to go. The opening frame of game 4. Debbie Larson, low shot on. Nearly the rebound for Zovi. Has it now. Be able to recover. Zovi again. Good pressure, but laid offside. They're forced to back off. Good movement here from JYP. Tunkelia. Back to the point. Launchstrom to him. Tunkelia at the drive. He scores. Short side, 5-hole. Jyväskylä have their first goal of the night as they strike first in game 4.
And I'm loving how they spread out the defense on that one. Kicked it back up to Lundström at first, and he was wide open. He gets it back to Tonkelia, and he's thinking about going down low. He might have lost that puck for a second off of a poke, and by the time he gets it back, that down low pass doesn't look as juicy. It just comes out front, takes a shot. But that sniper build, he puts it home. This is exactly what Jyväskylä had to do. Bit more forechecking pressure and more willingness to shoot the puck.
Goal there for Tonkelia, second of the series. Get some momentum for JYP that they so desperately needed. They're falling 3-0 in game 3. 2 minutes left here in the first. And Zach in. His best to hold on to this puck, being heavily pressured. Sebbe Larsson avoids the hit, tries to carry in. It's turned over. Space for Tonkelia, and it's poked away. Good recovery by Poppin there at the very end. Zovi takes a big hit. 5 seconds left. Ekin, maybe not expecting to get that puck. I think he was going to try to hit the defender. 20 minutes down. Jyväskylä with a 1-0 lead thanks to the goal by Tonkelia.
Yeah, and this is, again, this is the kind of response that they needed here. A really good job of forechecking and then just taking shots on when they were available. So we may have a freeze here on the stream.
I think we do. We'll wait for a moment of clarity. If we can find one in regards to the connection here. Sin makes your job a little bit more difficult here between periods. And waiting to see what we're going to have, at least from our viewpoint. Outright frozen broadcast screen. So, hey. We had movement. We had movement. Not enough movement. Excitement. Drama. For game number 4 in this best of 7 series.
Yeah, and well, if you're Vesa Pompa here, okay.
There we go. Well, we were kind of expecting that. We'll throw it back to us here as we will hopefully get that broadcast feed up sometime soon. You know it would help us avoid that situation of needing a team to broadcast their games, and that would be a proper spectator mode. But at least we have a lot of hut content. Anyways, we are getting word that they had a player drop, unfortunately, hence the disconnect. It was Indy that was streaming, so it might be a little bit before we get this game ongoing. So, unfortunately, while they settle all that out and we see what happens, and if Indy's going to be able to come back, we'll throw it over to a break. We will be back with the circumstances unknown. So stick with us.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back. The continuation of game number 4. It's in to set the stage for everybody here. We're going to do the best that we can with the scoreboard, but the two teams have elected to continue from the first period, where it is a 1-0 lead for Vesa Pompa. Again, we'll do what we, or for Jyväskylä, excuse me, we will do what we can when it comes to the scoreboard, but as you can tell, confusion going to reign supreme for at least a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, we'll see. Again, we always talk about who might the reset benefit here, but, oh, what a chance right there. Tom Kelly on the back door.
The answer was nearly yep, and indeed, we will see after that restart kind of what the situation is. But again, it is technically the second period with a 1-0 lead for Jyväskylä. Of course, in the future, you know, we talk about spectator mode. We talk about a scenario generator, being able to set all the different parameters to continue games from exactly where they left off. That would be lovely as well. But hey, buy packs, everybody. Kenkelia in possession only momentarily. It is Vesa Pompa back in control again. 3-0 in game number 3. One down low, recovered by Antonio Mannin. Quick movement here from Vesa Pompa. Sebi Larsson shot wired just wide. Ekin trying to recover. Poppins there with him. Sebi Larsson, another shot. Ekin tried to force it through. There were 3 people there, including one of his own teammates. Vesa Pompa, though, still in control. Very close to full pressure. Sebi Larsson ran into his own teammate. Offside here against Yip.
Yeah, it's a bit of a misread there by Sebi Larsson. I think if he peels out and he could, you know, get into a shooting position right there down low, but instead he thought he was going to go behind the net, and the man behind the net currently would peel out, which I think was Zovi right there. So miscue, and he ended up on his back for it.
Antonio able to hold on to it. Kelia up ahead for Jamal the man. Down low now, Indy. Nobody home on the pass. Kelia for Jamal. Had the wrap. He scores anyway. Stuck with it. Didn't get the wrap animation he wanted, but secures the goal on the backhand, beating Kosti 5-hole, and it's now 2-0 in favor of Jyväskylä.
Yeah, just really good work, and it starts down low. You know, it's a good forecheck, a nice hit along the wall, freeing up that puck, and then they begin to work the cycle, and Jamal wastes no time. Didn't get fancy with it, tried that wrap, it didn't work, and then he just shoots it again. I don't know if it was a buffered shot or not, or if he really, you know, pulled the trigger once more. Either way, the result is good, and Jyväskylä have doubled up that lead.
Indy. Landstrom at the point. Couldn't find Jamal the man. Okay, loose puck. Vesa Pompa will corral it. And now trailing technically by 2 in this game because of the restart. Indy up ahead for Jamal the man. Back to Indy. Couldn't hold on to it. The name glitch caught me off guard there. Vesa Pompa score as Zovi finds the back of the net, and we are back to a 1-goal deficit. Make it 2-1 Jyväskylä.
And that was just a really nice play right there of just taking the speed. I didn't think that pass was going to get through initially there, but good job by Sebi Larsson putting enough heat on that. for Zovi to get to, and he just goes to the backhand, doesn't cut across to the forehand. He just puts it home. And yeah, they've cut that deficit in half now. It's 2-1 for Jyväskylä.
Big goal there for Vesa Pompa. We're right back to where we were upon the restart. Antonio over to Zovi, turned it over. Tunkelia on the breakaway. He's denied. Great save by Kosti. There's Jamal. Back skates to the boards. Full pressure here for Yip. Landstrom. Circles back. Jamal. Burkarkis. They're running into a bit of trouble here. Ekin able to recover. Alleviate that full pressure. Puck still in danger. As into Landstrom. Great chance for Tunkelia. Better blocker saved by Kosti. Jamal tries to go 5-hole again. That's denied as well. Antonio for Ekin. Up and at the point. Back for Ekin. Stripped to the puck. Final 40 seconds of the second period. Both teams with a goal after the restart. Technically a couple. And there we go. It will be a 2-1 lead for Jyväskylä heading into what will be the third period here, as our producer has his work cut out for him to try and accurately represent the scoreboard.
Yeah, but that was exactly what Vesa Pompa needed there in that period. Like, you know, it's unfortunate that Jyväskylä were able to, you know, double up that lead, but they've been earning it. They've been playing a lot better than they did in that last game. A lot more aggressive with the forechecking and more willingness to shoot the puck, as you can see kind of represented by the shots in that period of 6-1. And that one shot that Vesa Pompa did end up in the back of the net, but again, you think back to last game, how they got, you know, the majority of their chances were just kind of ripping some pucks on. Now, some of them have been blocked and things like that, but you know, you'd like to maybe see them get back into that. It's still just a 1-goal deficit. It is the third period, but, you know, time for Vesa Pompa to get aggressive on that forecheck again, put some pucks on net.
Here we go. Third period underway. Always the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lockert. Again, it is game number 4 between these two teams. Technically the third period. Due to a restart, a disconnect, Tunkelia denied. As Yip tried to even up this series. Arcus out-muscled there. Yip still in control. Tunkelia sends it down low. Landstrom. Or Tunkelia again. Draw by Ekin. Popping now over for Ekin one more time. Arcus the interception. Vesa Pompa struggling to gain that offensive foothold upon the restart. Forced pass finds its way to Antonio. Drops back for Zovi. Taken away. Big hit there. Jamal can't find any space. Up ahead, Antonio Manning caught the defense off guard, and a save with the stick by Kazu. A tremendous stop by Ips netminder in what certainly looked like an effort that was going to tie this game. Here's Indy. Force there, straight to the opposition. Pompa takes a huge hit. The puck ended up on net. Ekin recovers. Hopping at the point. Antonio across, doesn't go. Right as Vesa Pompa got full pressure, they'll lose it.
And the good news is, though, Jyväskylä, their stamina bars are going to be pretty drained here, so if Vesa Pompa can quickly move it up the ice, they'd have a good chance.
Can't gain the zone on that attempt. Keep trying to get established on the other side. Game glitch going on, but it is Zovi. One of those, how the hell does that happen? Glitches that we have in NHL 24. Second in possession, and again, Vesa Pompa running out of time here. It is technically the third period. And a restart was necessary. Big contact there. And the members of Vesa Pompa are going to be offside here.
It's been a couple moments of that. That time it happens in the neutral zone, just getting a bit crossed up. They're a little bit unsure of how they want to gain the line here, but the physical play has been monstrous in this game so far.
Vesa Pompa running out of time. Jyväskylä trying to even up this series at 2 wins apiece. It's over 6 minutes to play. Popping for Antonio Manning. Back to the defense. Antonio wanted the wraparound. Kazu keeps it out. Kelia. Not able to find Jamal the man on the pass. Vesa Pompa have to work quickly. Onside, but knocked back all the way to their own zone. Poppin takes the hit. Ekin. Now Zovi over the line. Drives low. Back to the point. Ekin to Sebi Larson. Ekin again. Almost lost it. Still fighting for it. Turns it over. 90 seconds left in regulation here. Jamal turns it over. Final minutes. The feed in front. Lundstrom's there. Dunkelia can't find Indy on the pass, and it will go for icing. Rough break there for Jyväskylä.
Huge opportunity for Vesa Pompa, though. I'd love to see them pull the goalie, and they don't.
11.9 left. You might not get another chance to do so. Off the face-off. Loose puck up for grabs. Indy clears it out. And Jyväskylä will tie this series at 2 apiece. 1.3. Maybe not. There is time. How do you not pull the goaltender here, gentlemen? How? That'll do it. Jyväskylä gonna get credit for the win here in game number 4 as they hold on, even up the series.
Yeah, they held on, and I'm very confused by Vesa Pompa not pulling the goaltender there at either of those 2 face-offs. I mean, of course, yeah, they did lose the first one, but with that extra man out there, you never know the kind of pressure you could put on to turn that puck over, and you know, they didn't. And then yeah, so a little confused, and more confused by Vesa Pompa seemingly abandoning the strategy which gave them the success in that first game, which was shooting pucks, and they only had 3 shots in those last 2 periods. So for Jyväskylä, good job to tie that up, and you know, they made the adjustment, and then Vesa Pompa seemed to kind of regress back to an old play style. It's an interesting thing when teams, we've seen that happen. You know, teams will win a game, and then they'll kind of, all right, well, we can go back to what we want to do now. But you know, we'll have to see how the rest of this series shakes out.
2-2 split. It's a best of 3 from this point on. We'll be back. Game number 5 coming up in just a few moments.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, we are back, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us here at SportsGamer. Sin, 4 games down, and not enough to see a massive difference between the two teams. It's essentially a best of 3 from here on out, and a very important game 5 is coming up here with the series now tied at 2 games apiece. JYP getting the win, and of course, what was a bit of a disjointed game because of the restart, but a win is a win. And it sets the stage now for, again, this very important game 5.
Yeah, this is pivotal. You know, you get the advantage here. You're 1 win away from advancing, and seems like in these last 2 games, both teams have sort of traded taking the mentality of more shoot first and less of the, you know, looking for that perfect play. In that first game, Vesa Pompa looked amazing when they were throwing some more pucks on, forechecking hard, and in that game, you know, they kind of almost seemingly took a step back into an older play style, and that gave Jyväskylä the opportunity to forecheck hard, rip some shots on, and they get the win because of it. So we'll see which way these two teams want to play here. It's kind of been a weird back and forth chess match, and well, this is a very, very important game.
See who's able to strike first. It was very nearly Jamal on that wraparound. Antonio Manning with a bit of space to work with here. Antonio across, they score! Quick start for Vesa Pompa as they strike very early in the first period. One might say in 30 minutes or less.
And that was just a really good job of reading the play. And for Landstrom, you can't make that play right there. You got to just take your time a bit more. That's another case of wanting a certain play to be there and not necessarily reading what the defense was doing. He tries to go back down the wall, and that can't be a place where you turn over the puck high in the zone. That's doomed Jyväskylä numerous times throughout this series, and it happens again.
Yeah, big goal there, less than 2 minutes into the first period. As Indy tried the short side, Kosti able to make the save with the glove.
Good save right there as Jyväskylä trying to just get that one back by pouring some more shots on here in the
face off. Poppin is able to come up with it. Nowhere to go. Bouncing puck finally settled by Tunkelia for JYP. Into the attacking zone. Tunkelia, low shot. Trouble in front. Indy denied. Another shot on, and Kosti. Couple of nervous moments there.
Definitely nervous, but I love Jamal ripping that shot on. There was space on that short side. Kosti, maybe fortunately, is able to get the pad on that and smother it.
Off the face off. Zovi unable to hold on to it. Big hit there. Space now. Poppin stepping up. Zovi gets it on net. Loose puck still. Antonio an opportunity. Vesa Pompa trying to double up their lead. Kazu plays it out and into his own goal. A massive mistake by Kazu, and Jyväskylä now trailing by 2.
And he's been one of the ones this season more willing to throw the puck out than anyone else. And we've seen this a few times. We were both curious about why it seemed to be teams, especially goaltenders, more willing in this iteration of NHL to throw pucks out. We haven't seen it as much in the playoffs, but aside from this man Kazu, this time it comes back to bite him.
Nearly another goal there for Vesa Pompa. They are back on the attack. Ekin the one-timer, good block there. Arcus was able to get in front of it. Jamal leading the way. Avoiding pressure until Sevi Larson was able to step to him. Good step up by Karkas to get the puck back. Indy, glove save by Kosti. And the Jyväskylä squad has to be furious. That is the second time they've caught him, but he has still made the glove save.
Just a huge save right there from Kosti, able to reach out to snag that one.
You know, maybe they got a point about not being able to pick corners against goalies as often as they should. Maybe they do. Larson was sent to the bench. Poppin, nowhere to go. It's Lundstrom now. Zovi turns it over. A scramble for the puck with Antonio Mannin finally settling it down a little bit here. Had nowhere to go on the pass, though. And Vesa Pompa now up by 2 after being given a freebie. Kazu. Over the line, Indy. As yet again, Lundstrom at the point. Looking, deflection that went down into the skates. OV for Antonio Mannin. Six and a half minutes to play in the first period of Game 5. Here's Tunkelia. Tried to go across. Nobody home. Ekin had nowhere to go. Tunkelia looking. Poked away. He went to shoot. Indy to Jamal. Don't know if that one ended up on net. Pompa have to be a little bit more careful on these breakouts. Ovi takes a big hit now. Ekin. Dangerous moment again for Kazu. He's able to keep this one out this time, though.
Yeah, dangerous bounce right there as both these teams kind of cranking up the forecheck pressure here, and it's leading to some scary moments either way.
Face off in the attacking zone here for Vesa Pompa. Won the draw. They have the puck. Popping back to Antonio. Good job there by Lundstrom to get in front. Marcus for Tunkelia. Low shot rebound. Indy denied again. That has to be a frustrated competitor. Somehow without a goal in this game.
Yeah, and that's just, that was a great reaction coming out from Kosti right there, wasting no time sliding over to where that rebound was to stop the second one right there. He's having a great game so far.
And loose puck, they try to hold on to it. Poppin in control, goes across, Ekin. Still trying to weave through. Final minute of the period. That'd be Larson. Back for Ekin. Down low, Antonio. They have 8 seconds. Ovi for Antonio. Antonio trying to drive. Not the final possession Vesa Pompa would have looked for, but it is the first period they would have looked for. They're up by 2 after 20 minutes.
And we're going to get to see the goal by Zovi right here. And it was just, again, nice play, but it started from the defensive end when they forced that turnover from Lundstrom and were able to turn it around with the 2-on-1. It was a good pass from Antonio across. And, you know, for Jyväskylä, they've had some pretty good chances and they've been robbed a couple times, but I think they got to stick with the game plan right here because, you know, they start shying away from it right here. I think it could turn into more and more of an advantage for Vesa Pompa. Of course, you don't have a whole lot of shots, but do have the 2 goals, so I'm sure they can feel like they could successfully play more into their game plan here and play a possession game and kill a lot of time. But, you know, it is only the first period, so I don't think you want to rest on your laurels too much. You'd like to see a few more shots being taken from Vesa Pompa to find some of the success that they found in game number 3, getting some of those more grittier, dirty goals down low.
Here we go. The action resumes. Second period here of game number 5. Shout out to our lovely sponsor at Kovalan Lakritsi, sticking with us all season and postseason long. Ekin makes the move, picked off by Jamal. Antonio Mannin, Ekin, big save, drew a call as well. And Vesa Pompa will start off the second period on the power play.
Comes right back from that forecheck too. Antonio put the pressure on, forced the turnover, and Ekin trying to making the move towards the middle and get the shot away, ends up getting tripped. Still got the shot away as well, but maybe not as much on it if he hadn't been tripped. But this is a man advantage situation here. Vesa Pompa, they get another one right here. They are firmly in the driver's seat.
Off the draw, Antonio Manning in control here. It'll be Larson at the point. And again, nearly full pressure here for Vesa Pompa. They have it. Pompa continuing to weave. Fired a shot on that was blocked. Ovi can't get that one through. And cleared out by Landstrom. Pompa try to get reestablished. Indy does a good job. Sends it down. Didn't have the stamina to chase. Well done to hold back. Time for one more rush here on the Vesa Pompa power play. That'd be Larson. Back down to Ekin. Low shot. Rebound for JYP. Dunkelia, fresh out of the box. Takes the hit. We play on. Antonio for Poppin gains the zone. Takes the hit, though. In control one more time. Zovi now looking for Vesa Pompa. Really had a chance there. A little bit quicker puck movement will be good with how physical Jyväskylä is playing right now with these body checks.
Yeah, I was just going to say that on that last play, too. I think if Zovi just rips a shot on right there before he gets hit, at least go towards the net.
Lundstrom and Jamal, the shot. They wanted that deflection for Dunkelia in front. Couldn't get it. Poked away, Jamal. Able to hold on to it. Breaks to the outside. Finds Indy. Dunkelia couldn't get a shot off. The defense able to recover. Outward pass picked off. Huge hit there. Takes down Carcass, but JYP still in the attacking zone. Jamal can't get that shot on. Antonio bumped off. Just end-to-end these two. No one able to establish any quick zone time. And Jyväskylä didn't need it. Dunkelia finds the back of the net. And JYP are on the board.
Yeah, that stems from it was initially a good move by Antonio on the other way to kind of stop up on the boards. He spun around, but then he didn't move the puck afterwards. He tried to just push his way through, and with that sniper build, that's tough to do, and leads to the counterattack there, and you know, eventually one of those force passes is going to go through. It happens on that one, and Dunkelia capitalizes, cutting into that deficit.
Big goal for him as we continue on. Here's Dunkelia. Landstrom back to him. Good save by Kosti. Read that incredibly well. JYP getting some momentum here. Zovi able to take it away. Antonio. Nowhere to go. Sebi Larson nowhere to go either. Crucial interception there by Poppin. With 6 minutes left here in the second period. Over for Sebi Larson, tried the centering feed. Puck still bouncing around. No mistake this time from Kazu. His mistake earlier is still the difference maker in this game.
Yeah, that's gonna haunt him if it ends up continuing to be one of those difference makers here, and if his team can't turn it around.
Clean win for Vesa Pompa. All able to recover now. JYP trying to get going down the other way. A lot of loose pucks. Back and forth continues. Here's Ekin now. Bit of space for Vesa Pompa. Point. Pop and shot. Glove save by Kazu. A little bit of a scream, but he was still able to make the save.
And again, kind of another rare point shot, but when we've seen them, they're always kind of creating a little bit of something. This time it'll get an offensive zone chance, but Kazu had to be sharp on that one to get the glove on it.
Oh, Zovi the chance off the toe drag. Pulled the trigger on the shot. Antonio again, the back skate towards the front. Kazu plan on getting beat by that again. Michaelia for Indy, glove save by Costi. They're going to start shooting blocker side on this guy. He's got an excellent glove.
Yeah, he's been snagging him all over the ice, and poor Indy, man, he's just trying everything to get that goal and just continues to be robbed.
Off the draw, Vesa Pompa in control, under 90 seconds left in the period. Elia for Landstrom. Can't hold on to it, 30 seconds left. Jamal wins it back. Centering feed was knocked loose. Eck and Antonio working together. Sebi Larson takes a hit. 3 seconds left in the period. And a penalty called on Jyväskylä just before the buzzer. And will set up Vesa Pompa well to begin the third.
Yeah, that's a mental mistake right there. I mean, there's not really a big danger of a puck going in there, and Jamal just gets a little bit carried away with the poke, and I think you can tell he's frustrated with himself at the stage he took that penalty in.
Face-off play. That shot was going wide. Not much on that. A 2-1 lead for Vesa Pompa at the end of the second period. Get a look at some of the physicality between both of these two teams. Should be a wild third.
Yeah, there's been a lot of physicality between these two teams, of course, and we're getting yet another look. I mean, you know, Jyväskylä have been able to find a bit more, you know, offense from some of those cross-ice passes, but I still like their mentality in this one. They're down, but as of right now, they're down from a mistake, and, you know, they have less time in attack than Vesa Pompa does, but they are shooting the puck more, and that's what's creating a lot more havoc in the offensive zone. They've gotten rebound opportunities because of it. They've gone for deflections as well, and, you know, they might not be able to, you know, come back in this one completely, but this is the sort of mentality that they're at least kind of carrying over from the last game where they did find that win to even the series up.
Third period. Jyväskylä on a full penalty kill. Kick it off. Sebi Larson, D-to-D pass. One-timer. Antonio Mannin denied by Kazu. Ovi to corral that bouncing puck down low for Ekin. Full pressure for Vesa Pompa, and a mistake that they can't afford. The chance falls to the wayside. It's on popping too, I gotta be honest, you know, to be back skating towards the boards. At a certain point, it's either you're at the boards or you're gonna stay there, and to get caught in transition. Rough break. Ekin held up, we're back to 5-on-5. Jamal has it poked away though. A pass off the mark. A bouncing puck there gave Costi a little bit of trouble. Stick lift by Landstrom. Tunkelia with Landstrom. Tunkelia over to him, and Landstrom tried the one-touch pass back. Overcomplicating has been an issue for both of these clubs. A save there by Costi. And we'll slow it down here. Great outlet pass, though, to Antonio Mannin. Antonio kicks back to the point. Up and nowhere to go. Elia takes a hit. Again in control here. Up ahead, Antonio Mannin, bit of space. Sends it across. Great save by Kazu. Another penalty gonna be called here as Landstrom will head to the box. Vesa Pompa another chance to get some insurance.
Huge chance, but you know, they haven't gotten much luck on the power play. I don't even want to say much luck. They just haven't executed. If I'm recalling back to the regular season numbers, they had one of the, you know, pretty decent power play throughout the regular season, if I'm recalling that correctly, and we just haven't seen it so far in the postseason. We'll see what happens here. Antonio trying to break this puck in now.
You button's been my biggest enemy. We have a minute left here on the power play. Battled for in the corner. Zovi can't hold it. Antonio back to the point. In front for Ekin, bumped off. Zovi. They have 25 seconds left on the power play. Epi Larson to pop in. One-timer, another good save by Kazu. Continues to deny Antonio Mannin. Full pressure here for Vesa Pompa. We are back to 5-on-5. Antonio bumped off the puck. They try to win it back. Marcus down low for Lundstrom. Be able to clear the zone. Try to get some stamina back here. Marcus. Try the quick out. Completely mistimed.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Jyväskylä. This clock is going to feel like it's moving at lightning speed right here, and it's the forecheck of Vesa Pompa now creating all kinds of trouble for Jyväskylä. It's drawing some penalties, it's forcing turnovers, they're getting some chances out of it as well, and even more zone time.
Off the draw, Yip in control here. Space for Carcass, and doesn't make the most of it. Zovi trying to break through. Defense able to recover. Kelia takes the hit. Hop and triple team. Just didn't get rid of it in time. Kelia for Jamal. One-timer for Lundstrom. It's blocked. 2-on-2. Zovi, the spin towards goal. They score! As Ekin crashes and finds a way to put it home. And Vesa Pompa might just be moments away from winning Game 5.
Yeah, it's kind of a good decision there by Zovi. Instead of trying to force that pass across, he ends up just taking a shot after the spin. It hits a skate, but it's Ekin coming in on the secondary look, who sweeps that one home through Kazu's 5-hole. And now it's a 2-goal game with time running out in the third. And Jyväskylä trying to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. They have 3:22 remaining.
Over the line, Carcass here, turns it over to Zovi. Antonio tried to chip it low, gets it back, and again can't get that puck low. 2 minutes left now for Jyväskylä. They need a comeback or they will be facing elimination in Game 6. Penalty called. Vesa Pompa to the power play as Carcass goes for interference.
Yeah, just not a good last sequence from him. He turns the puck over at the point, and then on the counterattack, gets caught in front of the net, looking for that loose puck, bumps someone else. And the task is seeming nearly insurmountable here for Jyväskylä.
94 seconds to go. Short-handed now, and Ekin wins the draw clean. Hoppin's got to get that puck low. He does. Antonio holding the clock, the friend of Vesa Pompa right now. They just can't turn it over in a dangerous situation. Yip have control. Up ahead for Tunkelia. Nowhere to go. Epi Larson for Zovi. 2-on-1. Zovi across, and a great save again by Kazu. Thought it might have hit the post, but you could see the indicator underneath him light up.
He's just making huge saves off that one time.
Both goalies have had stellar performances here. I mean, obviously Kazu's going to be frustrated by the mistake. 20 seconds left here. Aggressive as they have to be. Lundstrom for Jamal. It deflects wide. 10 seconds. Epi Larson only needs to send it down, and he does. Vesa Pompa take game number 5. and are one win away from the semifinal.
Good win from them, and I guess fortunately for Kazu, that giveaway goal doesn't end up being as big of a difference maker as it could be. It'll count as the game winner here, but with the score line, Vesa Pompa winning by 2, it looks not as big as it was, but again, good job by Vesa Pompa at times, you know, forcing the play, getting those turnovers, and being able to capitalize when they were keeping things a bit more simple. And it's just continues to be a tight series and just back and forth here, so we're not too sure what it holds. But if Vesa Pompa, if you want to be in these semifinals, it's nose to the grindstone time. You are 1 win away against the 3 seed. You got to come out here in this next game and really take it to your opponents.
We have not seen a single upset so far. There is a chance, though, that this next game could be the one. If Vesa Pompa can get it done, they have 2 opportunities to advance in this series. As we'll get a look here at the goals. As again, they started off in this game very, very early, and then right here, Sin, I mean, a bad mistake by Kazu for as decent of a game as he had. At the end of the day, that was kind of the momentum shift, and it took JYP a while to even get their first goal on the board to kind of get that momentum back.
Yeah, and it came off of like a transition play as well, as we see right here is again, that's why
play.
Yeah, that's why you see teams do it. I mean, it
Yeah.
sometimes works and things like that. But you know, in that case, you know, that's your only goal of the game there. And I did like a lot more of what JYP Jyväskylä were doing at times, but again, they got down by those multiple goals, and I think those teams in that situation revert back to what's comfortable for them. And what's comfortable for both of these 2 teams is looking for those high quality, you know, net front cross ice passes.
Well, with that, 5 games down, at least 1 more to go. It's up to JYP Jyväskylä to make it 2. They have to win in Game 6 or their season is over. We'll be back in a few moments. Game 6 coming up.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back and just a few moments away from game number 6 in this best of 7 series. Sin, it's all or nothing for JYP Jyväskylä at this point. It is win or go home. And obviously, if Vesa Pompa get the win, well, not only will they finish in one of our prize pool positions, of course, by making it into the top 4, but they will be the lone lower seed to win in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and it's been some close sets as well throughout. You know, Blackjacks gave Tunnel Vision pretty good run for their money. Unwanted and Strikers, perhaps the best quarterfinals matchup that we've seen in years here. So, you know, yes, JYP Jyväskylä Vesa Pompa series has had a bit of a different identity, but it's time for JYP Jyväskylä to play like their backs against the wall, because it is. And for Vesa Pompa, if you want to advance, you have to be hungry here. You have to earn it. And you have to play out of your minds here in this game 6.
Here we are. This is it. Game number 6. JYP Jyväskylä needed the best game of the series. Their series could, in fact, be over. Larson tried to go up ahead, wasn't able to find that pass. Be forced to cut back. And hopefully Indy didn't just lose his internet for the second time. Okay, we're good. We're good. We march. We move. Arcus tries the short side. Indy forces it to, well, nobody of a similar jersey. Zovi not able to work his way through. Onstrom now, force across, nobody home for Tunkelia. Zovi loses it to Jamal. Very quick goal for Vesa Pompa in game 5. They'd already scored by this point. It will be offside here.
Yeah, a bit of a miscue there. Jamal thinks that puck maybe going to him, obviously leads to the offside here, but I'm still liking the aggressiveness coming out from Vesa Pompa, particularly on the forecheck. They're really kind of creating a lot of havoc in the back end.
Move to the middle. Zovi played it right back out. Nobody there. He takes the hit trying to cross the line. Carcass able to pick this one off. Elia has nowhere to go. In terms of zone time, not much for either side at the moment. Onstrom up ahead for Jamal. Again, can hold on. Ovi for Sebi Larson, avoids the big hit from Landstrom, and they try to get a shot on net there at least when you have a defenseman swing and miss on a hit. Such as that.
Yeah, I think so. They try to, you know, go for the one-timer in the zone, but, you know, that's where the opponents are back-checking.
Antonio threw one on there. Here's Tunkelia now with a bit of speed. Has it knocked away. Slight pause here, and, well, we rejoin with an offside call.
It's just been kind of stalemate throughout the neutral zone here. Neither one of these two teams really getting established in the offensive zone.
Kalia over for Indy. Contact there, a penalty called. JYP Jyväskylä heading to the power play here. We'll get another look at the infraction.
And that's Antonio, I believe, heading to the box there with the trip. I didn't get a good look at it, but we'll get another one here on this power play. Yeah, he's just at the line. With how much hitting's been going on, I'm always assuming when people get close to each other, they're going with the bumps right there. But that time reaches the stick out, gets in trouble for it.
A quick clearance, at least back to the neutral zone. Lundstrom takes a hit. Now Ekin stepping through, and he scores! Short-handed goal for Ekin. Kicks off the scoring in Game 6.
That came out of nowhere. I didn't think he was going to have the stamina or the speed. Look at that job by Antonio as well. A little bit of contact there with some of the back checkers. And he throws him off of Ekin's scent, who just stays the whole way and goes forehand, beating Kazu. And that is not how Jyväskylä wanted this power play to start off.
We continue on here. Power play situation for Yip. Lundstrom. For Tunkelia, low shot in a dangerous area, still bouncing around. Ekin has it and clears it out. Lundstrom up ahead for Indy, 20 seconds left on this power play. Up and upended. Tunkelia to Lundstrom had the entire opposite side of the net to shoot at, but thought Kosti would move. He didn't.
Oh, and you know how he feels in that situation, because it's all happened to us at one point or another. You think that goaltender is going to maybe overcorrect or even just start to correct. He doesn't. Just stays there and gets a easy save off of Lundstrom.
Larson, nowhere to go. Lundstrom takes it away. Marcus over the line. D-to-D pass. Lundstrom to Jamal. Saved by Kosti. Puck still loose. And the goaltender keeps it out.
Good play right there from Jyväskylä, able to find that high zone one-timer, but Kosti's been able to read those so well, and when he hasn't read them exceptionally well, he's been able to make some saves on them regardless with that glove.
Ekin unable to hold on. Puck down low, knocked away. 2 minutes left in the period. Here comes Tunkelia for Jyväskylä. And there it goes. As Ekin between the legs. Ekin the shot, forcing a good blocker save out of Kazu. Zovi. Trying to work in the corner. Tunkelia the bump. One more chance here for Yip. Final 10 seconds of the period. Penalty called. And Vesa Pompa with another penalty taken here in the first period. Yip with a great chance here to try and close out the first.
And that was Sebi Larson, I'm guessing, behind the player right here. As, yeah, it's that situation where he's trying to get the guy in front of him, and the animation goes into the one behind. Unfortunate break there, but another big opportunity for Jyväskylä.
6.6 on the clock. Face-off won, though, by Ekin. They don't clear it. Garkas to Lundstrom. One-timer, it was blocked, and a save by Kosti at the end. A nearly costly turnover, but Vesa Pompa have the lead at the end of one.
Yeah, that's a situation where I think he had more time than he thought he did, and you can either slap shot that around or try to kill a couple more seconds behind your net, but we have seen that backfired. That's just too soft of a play in that situation, is just trying to, wrist that one around the boards that has so much time to get there, and you'd think that, the opposing D are going to be trying to cover those boards anyway, so fortunately it doesn't come back to bite him. Kosti's made some big saves so far as Jyväskylä outshot their opponent in that period. The time and attack was even. They seem to be the one more willing to put those pucks on, which I think will give them overall success, but it's just that one mistake that they made. And, with that nice breakaway off the turnover shorthanded that Ekin scored.
Numbers there. Close. It is Vesa Pompa. Troll right now. We will see what happens here. Second period underway again. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. It is a power play here for Yip, and to kick off the second period of a must-win game for them. As Zovi not able to send it ahead for Antonio Mannin. He'll clear it out. Yep, power play half over. Good movement, Indy. Back for Karkas to Lundstrom. Dunkelia back to the point. Karkas to Jamal. Antonio was there, and he clears it out. Lundstrom head of steam down the other way. Contact. Penalty called. Gonna be interference on Zovi. We'll get another look at it. Perhaps it was a double hit because it looked like he hit the puck carrier just, perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm a little confused about this. We'll see. Oh, it was the no. He wasn't even the guy who laid the hit. Just completely away from the player right there, thinking a pass is coming or something.
Well, a brief 5-on-3. Yip have possession. Now 5-on-4. Jamal couldn't hold it. Goes through. Lundstrom turns it over. Antonio, is he going to have the speed to make something happen? Still has it. Passed it right back to Karkas. This series at times, good glove save there. This series at times, and it's felt like it's played out between two teams that are normally used to like 5 ping that are playing on like 55 plus. Just with some of the weird things that we've seen. And Costi continues to make some big saves here to keep Yip off the board.
Yeah, he's done a tremendous job in this game with Jyp Jyväskylä really trying to continue to throw different looks at him. And it's still shocking. We don't have a power play goal in this series, but we have a shorthanded goal.
Kelly cleared out by Poppin there off the rebound. Some awkwardness.
The commentator's curse almost cave in at full force right there.
Yeah. Vesa Pompa trying to end this series. JYP Jyväskylä, the 3 seed. At times, looks like they may have been able to lock down the number 1 seed. Their backs against the wall here. It is a must-win Game 6. Dunkelia off the interception. Gets the shot off. Saved by Costi. Antonio for Sebi Larson. Stepping up, avoids another big hit from Lundstrom. Antonio for Sebi Larson. Zovi now turns it over, and again, failing to get a shot off when Lundstrom misses a hit at the blue line. Ekin takes the hit. No icing here. There by Zovi. Ekin for Sebi Larson. Throws a backhand on. It's picked off. Dunkelia for Yip on the drive. Ekin's there, still loose. Pompa able to recover. Antonio, indecision. Gets him run over. Penalty called against Vesa Pompa for the 3rd time in this game. Kazu makes the long trek to the bench. Indeed, low shot. Kazu in front. Now Jamal. Back to the point. Lundstrom. Karkas. D-to-D pass. Lundstrom, Jamal. It's blocked. Power play again for JYP Jyväskylä.
You cannot keep letting your opponents take penalties without punishing them. JYP Jyväskylä, you need a goal to tie this. Your opponent has just taken their 3rd penalty of the game. You have to get something here. And it's the same. It was the same kind of play as the last one.
Here we go. Another power play opportunity. Lundstrom stepping in. Jamal scores! An awkward finish to say the least, but JYP Jyväskylä finally capitalized on a power play. They've tied this game at 1.
And that's what you have to do. Finally make your opponents pay for their mistakes. We've seen them go for that kind of play where they feed Jamal like in the slot with his back to the net, and it works on that one there. He's somehow able to shovel that puck on. I'm still not sure how he got the shot away, but it goes in the back of the net. I thought they were looking for Dunkelia the whole way, and then Lundstrom had him open a couple times and opted not to shoot, and he just looked like he had his eyes glued on Jamal in front. It works that time, and they've tied this game.
6 minutes to go here in the second period. Obi for Ekin. Takes the hit. Antonio now in the corner. Playing with fire at the point. Aggressive play there from JYP in their own zone. Win that puck back. Karkas can't complete that pass. Jamal picks it off. Karkas again takes a hit. Here's Indy. Tried to go across for Tunkelia. Lundstrom keeping it alive. Tunkelia down for Indy. Good movement along the outside here for JYP. Tunkelia back down low for Jamal. Karkas back towards the point. Indy got to shoot that. He doesn't. And it's poked out of the zone. As a result, here's Zovi. Feed in front. Still has it now. Antonio tried to go back to him. Bouncing puck. Ekin. Low cycle. Zovi has that shot blocked. Good luck, though. Final 20 seconds of the period. Indy takes a huge hit as the puck wraps around. Down low, Tunkelia wanted the wrap around. He still has it. The shot blocked. Penalty called again. JYP Jyväskylä will start the third period on the power play.
It seems like the wheels are just falling off here for Vesa Pompa. The pressure of trying to win this series a bit too much. And the pressure that JYP Jyväskylä is putting on them a lot at times on the forecheck is seemingly doing work right here for their chances in this game. Yet another power play. This will be their fourth of the game, maybe fifth technically because of that brief 5-on-3. I can't actually remember. It's been a lot of penalties. And indeed, it will be their fifth. They have capitalized once. Our first power play goal of this series. And it's taken a long time to get there. But, I mean, seemingly Vesa Pompa is giving JYP Jyväskylä every single chance under the sun to be able to get the advantage in this game. Including on that play where Antonio just could not decide what to do with the puck.
Well, here we go. Third period. It is the last 20 minutes of play that JYP Jyväskylä are guaranteed right now. They need to win this game and force Game 7 to continue their season. They have a wonderful chance here to take their first lead of the game. As Tunkelia gets whirlwind along the boards. JYP onside. Jamal has it poked away. Had two passing options. Not moving the puck quickly enough, especially on the man advantage. Jamal back for Indy. Tunkelia, great save by Costi. Zovi at least able to get it out. 35 seconds left now. Indy back for Karkas. D-to-D pass. Lundstrom looking. Wanted to go to Indy. Poppin was there to pick it off, and that will do it for the power play. Another successful kill for Vesa Pompa. A lot of penalty trouble tonight. They've only paid for it once. Huge hit there. Takes down Lundstrom. And for Antonio, man, and nowhere to go. A lot of traffic. Indy unable to sidestep his way into a pass. Antonio, nowhere to go again. As Jamal looking, force across. Indy couldn't get it. Poppin was there. Good play up to Ekin, but he is gassed. They are onside. Poppin stepping in. Jamal able to take it away. Lundstrom looking. Point, Karkas for Indy. All again, has space at the point. Likes to wait, goes down low. Tunkelia right back to him. Another unforced error for JYP Jyväskylä, just not looking like the overly effective and efficient team that we saw throughout the regular season. I saw a comment in chat, I forget who it was from at this point, saying where, I think it was Tombo actually, where's the regular season JYP Jyväskylä?
And I Can't disagree with that right now. They just seem out of sorts. They don't make the easy pass to the point when it's available. Then they will change the angle and then make that pass, which is objectively tougher because you're not on the boards. You can't just rim it around, and it takes that weird bounces. Carcass is, doing what he should to go over to the boards. It's interesting.
A man in on the backhand, a good save. Kazu. Hopping back to Antonio, another big save. Full pressure here for Vesa Pompa. Sebi Larson doesn't shoot. Goes to Zovi. Zovi the shot just wide of the far side corner. Hop into Sebi Larson. The shot, save. Carcass, they're in trouble here. Good recovery though by Landstrom. Has it poked away. Antonio. Back for Ekin. Sebi Larson working with him now. Hop in. One-timer for Antonio, deflected wide. A good bit of pressure there for Vesa Pompa. Unable to find the goal, though. 7.5 minutes left in regulation, perhaps in this series. Sebi Larson for Antonio. Loose puck towards goal. Carcass able to settle it down. Now Jamal over the blue line. Hounded, got a shot off, but a bit late. Didn't have the angle at that point. Indeed. Not able to get that shot through either. Antonio down low. Ekin. Pass off the mark. Over they go down low. In front. Conkelia is there to take it away. 4 minutes to go. A series of hits for Vesa Pompa. Does a good job walking over the line. Ekin gets hit hard. Yep, back in control. Space for Tunkelia. Drops back for Landstrom. Bumped off the puck. Vesa Pompa trying to get going down the other way. Zovi. Can't hold on to it. As we approach the final minute. Tunkelia spins down low. Can't find Indy. He does have it now, though. Back for Landstrom at the point. Landstrom, one-timer, Carcass save. Tunkelia the rebound. Shoulder save by Costi. Antonio Mann, breakaway. Save by Kazu. With the team's season on the line. A tremendous save on the breakaway. Hop in, one more chance. 6 seconds here for Vesa Pompa. Hop in, shot stopped. As Kazu earns his team's way into overtime. Game 6, 60 minutes was not enough.
That was so close, but Kazu makes 2 massive saves with time winding down to keep his team's season alive. That was... first of all, the saucer pass up to Antonio was a thing of beauty. I can't believe it got through. It didn't seem like there was space. I thought they were going to have to relay it to him by passing over to the guy on the left-hand side first, but they did not. And, Kazu just standing on his head. Really, the best players of this series have been both of these goaltenders, even with that Kazu flub where he essentially passed it into his own net. These 2 goaltenders have just been the best players.
Easily. It's not even a discussion at this point. It just isn't. But one of them will give up the next goal. And the question is, what will that result mean? Will it mean a game 7? Or will Vesa Pompa pull off the only upset of the first round as the 6th seed, knocking out number 3 Jyväskylä? Next goal will say so much. Here's Ekin. Over Antonio Mann, back deck, and they score! And there it is! 58 seconds into the overtime. Vesa Pompa have knocked out Jyväskylä in 6 games.
The upset is real. The 6th seed takes out the 3 seed. Our first upset of the quarterfinals. And it was that aggression coming out once again. I love the early pass by Ekin right there. It kind of freezes up the defender. He has to pay respects to Antonio cutting across, the top goal scorer for Vesa Pompa throughout the regular season, and he's able to go for the backdoor, for the tap in, and that one, Kazu cannot get a piece of his equipment on. And this series is over. Vesa Pompa hold on in that game and eventually get the dub.
It wasn't always the prettiest series, Sin, but the result is the result. Vesa Pompa into the semifinal, into a money-winning position. As we now know, I mean, hey, we don't want to take away too much already. It's a celebratory moment. But we do know that means they'll be taking on Tunnel Vision in the semifinal, and we'll be getting H-Reds and Strikers as well. So the semifinal shaping up to be very, very interesting, to say the least. For JYP Jyväskylä, I mean, we'll be talking a lot more about Vesa Pompa, but for them, their season comes to an end, and it's got to be a massive disappointment. I think this is a team that could have gone further. They did not play their best hockey in this series, and it is a missed opportunity, especially, too, with, you know, Kazu, a very strong performance tonight, and in the series in general. And ultimately, I feel like they'll be disappointed in their performance.
You have to be. And
it's harsh, but
you have to be disappointed because, again, you had such a good regular season. And you get into this series and you just seem to be, a lot of times, unwilling to break away from your game. They started doing it a heck of a lot more as this series wore on. The problem is that, you know, Vesa Pompa were also making adjustments. And the first 2 games of the series, the first 4 really, I'd say just the first 3, obviously, JYP Jyväskylä winning that 4th game by playing the way they needed to. The first 3, the first 2, both of these 2 teams beat their heads against the wall. That 3rd game, Vesa Pompa came out, made all kinds of adjustments, started forechecking heavily, started throwing those pucks on. They found success, and then it just seemed like a little bit too little too late when JYP Jyväskylä were trying to make some changes here, and they would still always default kind of back to that situation where they had to get that perfect play when they were down by a goal or multiple goals.
yeah. So with that, again, we know what the bracket will be for the second round, our semi-final. Again, it'll be Vesa Pompa moving on to take on Tunnel Vision, while Strikers will play H-Reds. Again, what should be a tremendous Final Four as Tunnel Vision look to make it back to send their 4th straight final. They've won 2 in a row. And of course, Strikers and H-Reds, another chapter to the long history and the rivalry between these 2 clubs, with only one of them being able to move on to the final. That is going to be a mad series. And again, the semifinals kick off on the 22nd of January. That will be not this upcoming Monday, but the Monday after. Monday, January 22nd, will be the first 2 games of each of the semifinals. And then later on that week, on the 24th and 25th, same format that we had here for the quarterfinals. Each series will get their own day in the spotlight, as again, we have our new playoff format this year here on the channel. Every single playoff game we'll be bringing to you. And of course, the week at SportsGamer still isn't over. The PlayStation Showdown Finals coming up this Saturday. The 1v1 final of Eki against Nicky Dangles, and the 4v4 final of Goons against the JYP All-Stars. But Sin, what a way to end the quarterfinals. Vesa Pompa moving on. We had some great series. It's only going to get better from here with the semifinals.
Yeah, we did have some really, really great series, particularly, you know, the Strikers Unwanted. And it's kind of surprising that, maybe not like so surprising that none of them went to 7, but there's a couple that definitely felt as if they could have gone to 7 and maybe even deserved to go to 7 here. But I'm sure the teams who did advance are just fine with how the series went at the end of all things. And, well, I don't know about you, but I can't wait to get these semifinals underway, though we do have to wait a little bit.
A little bit, at least. 5 straight days of action here for us at SportsGamer. Sin, we made it through the marathon of the quarterfinals. We get a bit of a break to recharge the batteries before coming back for the Elite Division semifinals. Again, Monday, the 22nd. We will be back. For now, though, we can all rest bring it back in a little bit. Thank you all very much for joining us here at SportsGamer. We will see you all very, very soon. And again, hopefully this Saturday for the PS5 showdown. Until then, have a good one. Take it easy. Get some rest for the locals on that side of things. And congratulations to Vesa Pompa.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.